Good morning, students. It's your science class. Chapter number 9, heat, I am going to start. In my first video, I have already taught you that what is heat. Heat is a degree of hotness and coldness of the body. Now, in this chapter, we will study about heat, how the heat is transferred from one place to another, from the one conductor to another. What is the transformation of heat energy and what are the kinds of clothes we should wear in summer, winters. What is a related temperature within heat? So I'm going to start with this chapter number 9. Name of this chapter is heat. Here it is given that one of the incident with the Manya's mother who is preparing a tea for her father. She placed the cup of tea on the table, but Manya's father forgot to drink it. After some time, when he picked up the cup, he found that it was cold. So he asked Manya's mother to heat it again. Manya was curious to know why did the tea cool down and how did it become hot when kept on the flame. Let us find out the answer of these questions. In our everyday life, students, we come across so many things. Some of them are hot like tea and some are cold like ice. So heat is a form of energy. We can say that one of the form of energy is a heat. And that heat makes us the object hot or cold. Therefore, heat is a degree of hotness and the coldness of a body. Activity is given here with the 9.1 that you have to make a list of the hot and the cold things around you. We need to classify them according to their degree of hotness and coldness. You should write the 4 names of the things which are cool or very cold by touch it. Or we have to write the name of the things whether they are warm or hot. But be careful, don't touch it. It may be dangerous to you. Now the heat. Heat is a form of energy. It can be transformed or it can be changed from one form to another. It can be transferred from one form to energy or also can be generated from various other forms of energy. Some of the examples are already given in the book. Number 1 is when we rub our hands together, what we can see, the mechanical energy get converted into heat energy. Now what is the mean of this mechanical energy? As you know that when we are rubbing our hands, it is a form of a mechanic, or it can say that it is one of the simple machine by which it can generate the energy in the form of mechanical energy. After some time when you will rub your hands together, you can see that they are become hot. Little bit hot is there. So we can say that mechanical energy by rubbing our hand together is converted slightly to the heat energy. Number 2. When the fuel is burned. Now what is the meaning of that word is fuel? Fuel means the coal, petrol, diesel, what we are taking as a burning purpose for making heat or producing the heat. So when we are burn a fuel, the chemical present in the fuel has a chemical energy which get converted into heat energy. In a third point, it is given that in a nuclear power plant, the nuclear energy is transformed into heat energy and then simply it is converted into electrical energy. Nuclear power plant, like there is an hydroelectric power plant, it is a use for producing hydroelectricity, electricity generated due to the flowing water. Here it is given that a power plant which is using nuclear power plant. So nuclear power plant has a nucleus of an atoms which has a nuclear energy which get transformed into heat energy, and that heat energy can another form convert into electrical energy. Understood? In steam energies, heat energy is transformed into mechanical energy. Here it is called steam. Now what is the meaning of that steam? Steam is a vapor. So vapor engine has an heat energy and which get transformed into mechanical energy, and that mechanical energy is utilized to make an engine move. In a thermal power plant. Now what is another meaning of that word? Thermal. Thermal means also one form of heat. So in the thermal power plant, heat energy get transformed into the electrical energy. In an electric bulb, we can see that the electrical energy get converted into heat energy and then converted into light energy. Due to that, we can see that in an electric bulb, there is a light emit out or producing the light from electric bulb. Another most topic and related to the heat topic is temperature. What is a temperature? We feel that the heat of an object by touching them. We can touch the ice, we can touch the hot tea, we can touch the hot coffee. So we know that some objects are very cold and some objects are very hot. How do we decide that which object is hotter and which one is a colder? For this, we use our sense organ that is called skin. So we can say that a skin is an organ by which we can decide by touching the objects are hotter or colder. But now we are always right to decide whether object is hot or cold by touching it? No. We cannot access the exact temperature of an object by merely touching it. So we had to perform an activity to study this. You had to take 3 glass trough, make them labeling A, B and C. You had to fill the ice cold water in a trough A, hot water in trough B and a tap water in trough C. 3 troughs are there. In a 1 or A trough, you have to fill with ice cold water. In a B, you have to fill hot water. In a C, you have to fill the tap water. Now you know that the heat of ice, heat of hot water, heat of tap water is merely different. So we have to make sure that hot water is not very hot. Otherwise, it will burn your hand. You have to dip your left hand in trough A, right hand in your trough B, and after half a minute, you have to take out both the hands simultaneously and dip them in a trough C. What you will feel, students? You have feel that your both the hands get same feelings. So this feel that your left hand found water in trough C to be the hot while the right hand found to be the cold. On the basis of this activity, we can conclude or observe that by touching we can only say that one object is hotter whether the other is not. But we cannot judge how much object is hot and how much object is cold. So the temperature is level way to measure the degree of hotness of a body. Temperature can be defined as a quantity through which we can compare the hotness and coldness of the different object. Now, my dear students, have you understood what is the meaning of that hotness and the coldness of the body? Some objects are hot, so we can say that it is a hot, and some of the objects like ice is a cold, so we can say cold. So we had to measure the degree of hotness and coldness, and by measuring we can say that all the objects having different type of hotness and coldness degrees. So we had to find out the temperature. SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. Kelvin is a one type of unit of temperature. Other commonly used unit of temperature are degree Celsius, that is represented by degree C, capital C, and the degree Fahrenheit, degree F, that is a capital F. These are the two scales to measure the temperature, Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale, and another one is Kelvin scale, which is used for scientific work. Now I am going to start Celsius scale. This scale was invented by Swedish astronomer Anders Celsius, and that scale is utilized to measure the temperature in degree C. And that scale is actually shows us that a temperature of a pure water is 0 degrees C, and that 0 degrees C the pure water freezes. That is called lower fixed point. So we can say that according to the Celsius scale, the pure water freezes at 0 degrees C is actually shows us that lower fixed point. The temperature at which pure water boils is called upper fixed point. So pure water boils at 100 degrees C. The interval between these 2 points is divided into 100 parts. Each part is known as Celsius. Fahrenheit scale. Fahrenheit scale, this scale was invented by Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. In this scale, temperature is measured in degree F, and that is the lowest fixed point. And you know that the lower fixed point of a Fahrenheit scale shows us at 32 degree F, and the upper fixed point is at 212 degree F. So you have to learn about this, the lower fixed point as well as the upper fixed point. 32 degree F and the upper fixed point is 212. The interval between these two fixed points is divided into 180 parts. So we need to convert degree F into degree F, degree C to degree F, and we have to use this formula. So first of all, the formula of converting degree F, C to degree F, degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. The formula used here, capital F equal to, in a small bracket, 9 by 5 into C, bracket close, plus 32. Second one is degree F to degree C. So we have to calculate degree C by using the formula equal to, in a small bracket, 5 by 9 into bracket F minus 32. Okay, so there is in given one of the brain tracer that what is your normal body temperature on a Celsius scale as well as the Fahrenheit scale. We had to calculate the normal body temperature by using both the scales when we are using the formula given here. Next topic is measuring temperature. So temperature can be measured by a device that is called thermometer. You must have seen it being used when you or someone else in your family have a fever. There is two types of a thermometer that is used. Number one is called clinical thermometer. What is the clinical thermometer? The thermometer that measures our body's temperature is called clinical thermometer. So we can say that by clinical thermometer we have to measure body temperature. It consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube. There is a bulb at its one end. This bulb contains mercury. You can see the small shining thread of mercury inside the bulb. Isn't it, students? So what we can say? We can say that in a clinical thermometer, it is from 90 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit or 35 degrees C to 42 degrees C. There is another activity given 9.3. You have to take a clinical thermometer. Now the first step to note the difference indicated between two bigger marks. Count the numbers of division between these marks. Have you seen that a clinical thermometer have a different indicating division of marks? So these are the divided into 5 divisions and between two bigger marks. As a ruler or a scale you have in your geometry box, you can see. Similarly, one small division can be read by 1 by 5, which is equal to 0.2 degrees C. Now you have to wash the thermometer with an antiseptic solution. Hold it firmly and jerk it a few times to bring down the level of mercury. What should we need? We have to need it to be ready again. Ensure that level of mercury should be below 95 degrees Fahrenheit. You have to place the bulb of thermometer under your tongue. After 1 minute, you have to take out the thermometer and note the reading. We need to repeat the process with some of our friends and note down the body temperature, and you have to need to fill up the table given below. After observing, we can say that a name of the friend should be A, B, C or D and their body temperature in the degree Fahrenheit should be written in the boxes. What you will observe? You will see that the body temperature of our friend or your friend does not go below 97 degree Fahrenheit or above 99 degree Fahrenheit unless he or she is having fever. That is a symptom, that is an indication that they are having a normal body temperature. So we have to conclude that the normal body temperature of human body is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. But it is also not necessary that the temperature of every person is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. So it could be slightly higher or it could be slightly lower. Understood? So what should we remember? We should remember that we do not use clinical thermometer for measuring the temperature of any other hot objects other than the human body. It may break. Never keep the thermometer in the sun or near the flame. These are the precautions to keep the thermometer properly. Another question is asked by the brain tracer that can we use a clinical thermometer to measure the body temperature of boiling water? Why? So we have to use laboratory thermometer. This is another type of thermometer, that is laboratory thermometer. The clinical thermometer is meant only for measuring the temperature of the human body. Then how can we measure the temperature of other objects? For this purpose we use laboratory thermometer. You have seen that in a laboratory thermometer is already given in the figure. The laboratory thermometer consists of a long, thin, uniform glass tube sealed at one end. That is a completely closed at one end. At the other hand, it has a bulb filled with either mercury or red alcohol. So these are the two things it can be filled with, mercury or can be red alcohol used to fill the bulb. We can see a shining thread of a mercury inside the thermometer. With a rise in thermometer or the level when we will be go up slightly increases, the level of the mercury also rises inside the tube, that is called stem of a thermometer. The range of that laboratory thermometer is generally from minus 10 degrees C to 110 degrees C. C means Celsius. There is given some precautions while measuring the temperature with a thermometer. Number 1, thermometer should be washed before and after use. So when you will use it, before use and after use, you should wash it. In clinical thermometer, we have to ensure that the mercury level should be below 95 degree Fahrenheit. A thermometer is delicate, so we have to handle it with very care. In the case of thermometer, laboratory thermometer, the bulb should completely surrounded by a substance, those temperatures being measured. The bulb should not touch the side of the container. Read the thermometer, keeping the level of mercury along with the line of sight. Sight means eyes. You have to just keep the thermometer in the level of your eyes or in line of the sight. Never hold the thermometer by the bulb while reading it. Laboratory thermometer should be kept upright, not very tilted. These are the some points you have to take a precaution in a mind how to take a laboratory thermometer and used. Another activity is given. Take a beaker and fill it with a half of water. You have to dip a laboratory thermometer in the water, ensuring that the bulb is completely immersed in water. But should we not touch the side of a beaker? Do not tilt the thermometer. Observe the movement of mercury of a thermometer of water at that time. Now you have to ask your friend to do the same thing. Let us conclude the another experiment. 9.5. Take a beaker and fill it with a hot water. Dip a laboratory thermometer in water in that. Wait for the mercury thread to become a steady. Note the temperature. Take out the thermometer and note the reading. You will find that the mercury level has fallen. From that activity, we can conclude that the temperature must be read while the thermometer is in the water also. Now, from that activity, we can recall the measuring of a temperature or the amount of temperature using in the clinical thermometer. So, we need to look out the thermometer from our mouth to note the reading. Why should the mercury not fall or rise in the clinical thermometer, students? Because in the clinical thermometer, there is a ink, K-I-N-K ink near the bulb. So, it can prevent the mercury level from falling down on its own. Now, do you know, mercury is a very toxic substance. Mercury is a metal, but it is a poisonous substance. And it is very difficult to dispose of. It is very difficult to dispose, means we have to very difficult to reduce it. If a temperature or thermometer breaks, if the thermometer breaks, it will be fallen down and it is very difficult to collect or dispose it. To solve this problem, digital thermometer are going to be used. In a digital thermometer, mercury is not used. Different types of transfer of heat we already learned about it. Now here it is given that what is the process of transfer of heat is called. Sometime you have observed that when your mother keeps a frying pan on the flame on the gas stove, it becomes hot. It is because the heat is going to transfer from flame to pan or that vessel or frying pan. When we remove the pan from the flame, it slowly cools down. So sometime it will be absorbed and sometime it will release the heat which is going to transfer. Again, heat is transferred from pan to surroundings. When a bottle of chilled water is taken out from the refrigerator, you might see that the heat is transferred from the atmosphere to the bottle. And this shows that the heat flows from hotter objects to the colder objects. There is an activity given that and showing the transfer of heat is a process of conduction. Conduction means it can conduct the heat. Conduct means one referring point to another referring point, heat or temperature may pass. You have to take a metal rod and you have to fix 4 or 5 small wax pieces, wax that is a candle pieces at an equal distances, mount on the rod on a stand and heat it from one end. Is a similarly clear given that you have to fix a metal rod with a 4 or 5 small wax pieces in equal distances and you have to keep or mount the rod on a stand and start to heat it from one hand. And then we have to observe what happens to the wax pieces. It will start to melt. And do the all pieces fall down at the same time? No. So we will see that the piece near the flame falls first and the piece at the end falls last. The process of transferring heat from the hotter end to the colder end of an object known as conduction. And this mode of a transfer of heat take place in solids only. So what are the solid need to that? Solid are hard, solid are rigid. So in the solids, the transfer of heat is occurred due to the process of conduction. Next, in the given that we have learned already that molecules and the particles of the solids are very closely packed, tightly packed. So with this very little space between them, we can say that when a solid is heated, its particles start to vibrate. Heat start to a solid, particles starting vibrating. What is a mean of vibration? Vibration means to and fro motion. The particle in the solid start to move, and when they are vibrate, they begin bang to the particles next to them. Now what is the mean of that bang? They are just strike, heat or collide with each other to make a bang into the particles next to them, one to another, another to another, it will be passed. Now these vibrating particles bang to the next one and make them vibrate as well as the process continue. So one of the vibration passes to other, again to other to other, particle next to them, and it will be process continue. Likewise, the heat is automatically transferred from one particle to another. Understood? Do all the solids conduct heat? So we had to need activity. You have to take a small pen and fill it with the water and start to heat it. What you need? You have to take a small pen with the filling water and start to heat. Need to collect some of the articles like steel, spoon, wooden scale, plastic scale and a comb. You have to need to dip one end of each object in hot water and wait for 5 minutes. We have to touch each and every object by other hand. We have to feel that and observe. Steel objects, is the other hand hot or not? Yes. So we can say that in a steel objects, the transfer of heat begins from one end to another. Spoon, yes, it is also. Comb does not because it is not a conductor. Wooden scale does not. Plastic scale does not. So from that conduction of heat in different object, what we concluded? We conclude that spoon, object, steel, spoon, all these are actually conductor. They can conduct heat from one end to another. Okay, but comb, plastic scale or wooden scale are insulator or bad conductor of heat. They cannot pass the heat from one end to another. So we have to need to know that all the solids do not conduct the heat. So the materials which conduct heat easily through them are known as conductors, or we can say that these are the good conductor of heat, as well as these are the iron objects, copper objects, aluminium objects, all these are called conductor. Another materials which does not conduct heat through them are known as insulators. So insulators are bad conductor of heat. So what are the bad conductor of heat? Wood, plastic, glass, ice, air. All these are actually bad conductor of heat. Up to here in this part, we had to go through the next part in the next video. For today it is over, students. Hope you will learn about it. Thank you and have a nice day.